Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. I want to shout out one of my subscribers for recommending this topic. And I encourage you all to send me your recommendations for topics. You can email me at newpossibilitiesblog@yahoo.com, and also you can message me here on YouTube. Well, I want to thank that subscriber. So I was reading an article on the Washington Post. I will include a link in the description box so that you can read it for yourself. But this article is basically about how Donald Trump plans to make America great again by cutting funding for housing and urban development by $6 billion. He's going to make America great again by cutting food assistance programs. He's going to make America great again by cutting affordable housing programs. He's going to make America great again by cutting funding for public housing. He's going to make America great again by cutting funding for repairs in public housing. He's going to make America great again by cutting public and community development programs. That's his idea of making America great again. That means that there will be less affordable housing available. That means that this man is going to be making America great again by making people homeless again. There will be less funding for homeless veterans to give them shelter. Less funding for repairs in public housing, meaning that people will be forced to live in dilapidated, messed up communities. And I will include a link to a story here in Baltimore about the disrepair of public housing here in Baltimore. Housing for the elderly is going to be cut because of Donald Trump. So these programs are already not funded well enough. But yet Donald Trump wants to make America great again by cutting funding even further for these different programs that help the community. And this man has been talking about cutting fundings for these types of domestic programs so that he can expand funding for war. And that just reminds me of a popular saying that I heard during the anti-war protests that I participated in. These people always have enough money for war, but they never have enough money for the homeless. They never have enough money for the poor. They never have enough money for the hungry. They never have enough money to educate the children. But yet they want to spend money on more bombs to take away life. They want to spend more money on more guns to shoot people with. They want to spend more money on jets and drones to kill more people with. They want to give money for death and destruction while cutting back on funds to help keep people alive and improve people's lives. But this is Trump's idea of making America great again. And when I hear stuff like this, I just wonder how any black person in their right mind could support this guy. You have people who claim to be pro-black supporting this fool, supporting this damn buffoon, supporting this man who has nothing but negative plans for the black community. Make no mistake about it, these plans are going to have a devastating impact on the community. This $6 billion cut will affect black communities. So I can't understand these black folks supporting Donald Trump. And I definitely can't understand those fools who told you and me that elections don't matter. Where we're seeing just how wrong those misleaders were. We're seeing how wrong those charlatans and hustlers were when they told you and me that elections don't matter. They were wrong as hell, and they're not worthy of being followed. And I'm going to remind people every single time this man implements or proposes a policy that has a devastating impact on our community, I'm going to remind these people of how foolish they were to advise you and me not to vote. I'm going to remind those buffoons and coons who support Donald Trump how stupid they are. I'm not going to miss an opportunity. So you're going to hear this for the next 4 years from me. Every time. And I have to say this. I mean, Donald Trump is putting a black face on this devastating cutback. You know, it's no coincidence that he had a Negro in that position to be the director of housing and urban development. Ben Carson. It's no coincidence that he would pick a buffoon and coon like Ben Carson to head up that department. Ben Carson reminds me of those characters from Get Out. He reminds me of those characters. And I'm going to post a link to a funny parody that features Ben Carson and Donald Trump in a parody of the movie Get Out. But he reminds me of those characters. You know, those zombie-like black characters who were all submissive and subservient to white people in that film. Those black characters who had lost their independence of thought. You know, those black characters who had become new slaves, basically. And their bodies had been taken over by white people. That's what essentially has happened to Ben Carson. He is in that sunken place that we saw in the movie Get Out. One of my colleagues posted a video of Ben Carson years ago before he decided to get into this political arena, where he was talking about the achievements of black people, where he was talking about the inventions of black people, where he was talking about black pride and black self-respect, and that great black surgeon who at one point did seem to have some kind of compassion or concern for his community, that black man has been reduced to a damn buffoon. He's been reduced to a damn butler for white supremacy, and it's a damn shame. So I just had to get this out of my system. I mean, this is outrageous. This is what we're getting, and it's up to us to resist Donald Trump at every opportunity that we have. We have to organize against this man and his agenda. We can't allow this type of budget to pass. We can't do it. We have to resist it. We have to call our members of Congress and urge them to vote against this when it comes up. It's my understanding that this budget will come up probably this week. We have to contact our senators and our Congress people and urge them to fight against this budget. Not only do we need to lobby our Congress people, we need to put our bodies in the street if necessary to prevent these policies from being implemented. We have to. We have to. Later for talking stuff on YouTube. Later for being some armchair revolutionary. Later for talking about some old ancient dusty ass pyramids that have zero relevance to our life right now. It's time for action. It's time to put in that work.